Spend, baby, spend. That is what the U.S. consumer said last month, folks. As always, retail sales were going to be important. It is nearly impossible to have a recession if the U.S. consumer is shopping. So yesterday or today, we got retail sales numbers. Again, we were expecting a positive print of 0.3. We actually got a positive print of 1%. Folks, this is a significant beat to the upside. The American consumer is still shopping. June, the previous month, was revised lower to a print of negative 2%. So, folks, my call of a recession starting in June or July, it's hard to fathom a recession that would happen when retail sales are up plus 1%. If you want to go X autos, they were up 0.4, again on an expectation of 0.1. So again, retail sales were strong. One might say unbelievably strong. We have seen a pretty consistent revisions to the negative. It would not shock me if there is yet another negative revision. But yes, folks, retail sales expected 0.3, came in at 1%. Also, folks, this was a big week for the weekly unemployment claims. This is something you and I have been looking at for months. Remember, we were concerned, what was that, 3 or 4 weeks ago when it popped to 252,000. We wanted to see if there was any follow through, or perhaps that number was hurt by what was happening in Texas and the hurricane. Well, we've got our third and final week, and they're going down. They are going down. Last week's unemployment was 235. This week now 227. So again, 227 new jobless claims in the last week. Again, we have kind of been here for the year, except for that momentary spike to 252, which we thought might be hurricane related. But now the data coming through seems to point to that. So the other thing I think about now that we've got validation that weekly unemployment claims was likely impacted by the Texas hurricane, I just wonder, what is that jobs number for July? Or June, excuse me. Yeah, June. No, July, sorry. Get all these months confused. July. It was, again, very weak. We saw the unemployment claims or unemployment rate jump to 4.3. Was this a sign that we had some hurricane impact? Will we see in about 2 weeks, the next print is 2 weeks away, will we see the unemployment rate fall? Will we see kind of a comeback in job creation? I don't know, but we do have more data coming before the September rate hike. So again, folks, remember, what do we have? What do we have before the September Fed meeting? We will have PCE in about a week and a half. We will have the August jobs number in the first Friday of September. Then we will get both PPI and CPI before the Fed rate decision. Again, I ask you, retail sales screaming, inflation seemingly coming down. Why are we cutting rates? It seems to be working. Maybe it's because of the restrictive nature with inflation falling now below 3%. We are at 5.25. As inflation falls, we get more and more restrictive. I get that. But why would you cut in September? Why not wait till November? I don't know. We've got more data coming. Certainly looks like the market is expecting a 1/4 point. I'm seeing more and more people peel back the call for 50 basis points. That seems to be going out the window. But again, there's a lot of stuff coming. We've got also not only retail sales, but we've got an earnings report from the largest retailer on the planet, Walmart. Walmart beat top line, beat bottom line, and raised guidance. What does that mean? Top line, revenue. They sold stuff. Bottom line means they sold stuff profitably. They made money. What does raise means? That means they took the expectations and say, hey, folks, we are going to do better. We've got some commentary from the CFO and CEO. Recession unlikely, which I don't know. I mean, let's think about Walmart. Let's just have an honest conversation with Walmart. It is my belief that Walmart is very much a trade down for maybe the middle class, maybe the upper middle class. If you are getting conservative, if you're getting fearful, but you still want to buy a gift or you want to buy a widget or a thing, do you not trade down to Walmart? Maybe Walmart is seeing a benefit from a large trade down. I think so. I wouldn't rule that out. That could certainly distort the numbers. It could certainly look good for Walmart. Maybe it looks bad for others. It's just something that I ask myself. Also, quote from I think this was from the CFO. Imagine betting against the American consumer. Crazy. Again, this is a shop till you drop country. Again, retail sales, as earlier reported, was up 1% on an expectation of 0.3. I am definitely still in the camp of a rolling recession. We haven't had one since the 90s. And I think a lot of people are just, frankly, out of touch and don't see a rolling recession, which I think will be shallow but long in historical context. A lot of people talking about 1995. Why is that? Well, that was when Alan Greenspan, was credited with cutting interest rates and engineered the soft landing. 1995 is often thought of the one exercise where the Fed got it right. They cut early, they cut preemptively, and engineered a soft landing. More and more folks are going that direction. Earlier this month, we had a significant layoff at Intel. I think it was 12%. I could be wrong. Maybe it was 8%. I don't know. It was a big number. Looks like Cisco Systems is cutting 7%. Yes, cutting 7%. I think that's about 6,000 jobs. I believe Cisco had a cut in February of about 4,000 jobs. So this 6,000 is on top of those 4,000. I do think Cisco System just went through some acquisitions. So they did just grow via acquisition. Maybe there's some overlap in trimming coming from there. So again, Cisco is cutting jobs. When I think about Cisco and Intel, I don't think this is unfair. I would say that Intel and Cisco are definitely the old guard in technology. They have both been around for decades. I think Intel's been around even longer than Cisco, but let's both call them the old guard. Maybe this is just a sign that the old guard is not keeping up. Maybe they got a little bloated. They're doing their stuff on the old systems. I don't know. But again, Cisco, Intel, really drastic cuts coming. Saw an interesting quote that was given credit to Albert Einstein. I do not know if Albert Einstein said this, but he was identified as the person who said it. So I'm going to just assume he said it. So let's listen to this. It's important. Weak people take revenge. Strong people forgive. Intelligent people ignore. Weak people take revenge. Strong people forgive. Intelligent people ignore. I certainly need to do a better job of ignoring the haters. But yes, I thought that was something that was very interesting. I think I saw that on Twitter. So there we go. So folks, yesterday evening, I tried to do a one rental at a time after dark. We did a live stream with some family friends. I had been thinking about creating a top 10 list for things that I would want to tell young people. In this case, Grant, 16, and Sky, 14. I wanted to give them, I don't know what you would call it, pearls of wisdom from an old guy about, hey, if you want to get rich, you want to get wealthy, these are the 10 things that I want you to think about. I do realize that the audio was not perfect. We had 2 microphones between 3 people. I didn't set it up particularly very well. The mic was perhaps too low. I apologize. That is 100% my error. But what I wanted to do here is just give you a quick rundown of my 10 things that I want young people to understand. I know a lot of you have kids that watch. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Here's my top things I shared with Grant and Sky. If you want, you can listen to the video. You'll probably have to turn up the volume because Grant and Sky's volume was not great. Again, 100% my issue, not theirs. Number one, college not required. If you're going to go to college, please have a plan. How are you going to create a return on investment? How are you going to get a return on your money and your time? There is probably a lot of folks out there that should not go to college, but should go into the trades. You can make a lot more money, a lot quicker in the trades. I just want to see a plan. I think asking 18-year-olds to sign loan docs for several $100,000 should be a criminal offense. 2, start saving now. I think you have to create good habits now. What I would ask them to do is start saving 20%. If you have a part-time job, if you're babysitting, if you get in Asian culture, red envelopes at New Year's and birthdays, save 20%. Have your mom and dad open a portfolio at Charles Schwab or wherever you want to go. And understand ETFs. If you have a stock that you like, research it. Buy something you're passionate about. Again, get in the habit of saving. Number 3, audit your network. As teenagers, your friends suck. As an adult, your friends suck. So again, if you have friends that are going a direction that you don't like, or a friend starts to go in a direction you don't like, fire them. Fire them. Also, watch your social media feed. If you are nervous or excited or whatever because your social media feed is making you not feel right, block, block, block. Number 4, find something you are interested in and focus. It is not that hard to be in the top 10% of anything. It's a sad statement that you could be in the top 10% of anything with just a little bit of focus and daily discipline. Number 5, health is wealth. I know as teenagers you can eat anything, and trust me that all of us have eaten a lot of stuff the last couple of days as we've been talking about good times. And you've got to establish good habits now. Not only good money habits, but good health habits now. Number 6, when the time comes and you have romantic partners, make sure you talk about money. You have to talk about money early. It is very hard to get into a relationship with someone else and then you have money habits that are opposite. Money is a great, great stressor and can destroy relationships. Make sure you talk about money early with romantic partners. Number 7, be careful with consumer debt, credit cards. Yes, we talk about it being a liability, but as a young person, you have to realize you're going to get this piece of plastic and they're going to give you a $1,000 credit limit. You can go ham and suddenly you got some stuff, but you owe some money. And that $1,000 in spending could turn into $6,000 if you pay the minimum in expenses. Number 8, find your tribe. Find your tribe. And that seems to be a good time to highlight something that a ORAT creator, Frank, old guy REI, created for us. ORAT says, I found my tribe. Frank, thank you very much for this. I believe the plan for this shirt is Frank is going to sell them at the ORAT event in Vegas. And then the proceeds are going to be donated to the Blind Center. This is something that we did last year. We sold some keychains and some autographed books, and we made a $1,000 donation. I believe the plan, Frank, is to sell these t-shirts. I think he bought 100 of them that says, I found my tribe. And the donations will go to the Blind Center. That's the kind of people that we have in One Rental at a Time. We want to make a difference. We want to help people. And Frank, thank you very much for the creation. We will make sure those get sold out and we make a donation to the Blind Center. Again, find your tribe. Number 9, financial freedom is easier the lower your monthly expenses are. If you control your fixed expenses, rent, food, insurance, blah, 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 blah. There are so many commercials on this live now. Sorry, buddy. What was I saying? So financial freedom, it's easier the lower your monthly expenses are, rent, food, insurance, all of those things. So again, if you can control those, it's easier to get out of the rat race. And then finally, I wanted everyone to know, and I wanted Sky and Grant to know, that you can be rich and wealthy faster than you think if you focus and avoid stupid mistakes. Again, I thought that was important. So I'm sorry for the failed attempt last night, but I wanted you to know those 10 things because I think they are important. Last thing to talk about here, folks, we got mortgage refi. Again, we talked about the mortgage boom starting. We saw a 35% spike week on week, 118% year on year. Now, the important question, and we don't know this yet, at least I don't know this yet. Are we seeing a spike in rate in term refinances? What does a spike in rate in term refinances mean? It means there are families, households, that are lowering their monthly expenses. If you lower your monthly expenses by, say, $200, that is an additional $200 that you can spend on other things. What is another option? What is another option? Another option is we are seeing a spike in cash out refinances. A cash out refinance, that could be somebody paying off credit card debt. That could be somebody creating a reserve. That could be somebody investing in a business or a backyard or whatever. In any case, a cash out refi spike would be a gob of money that could either A, go to paying down liabilities, or it could be done to invest or pay forward. So again, it's very interesting to see what's going on in the refinance space. So folks, that is your daily financial news for the day. I do want to give a shout out to the accountability group that went yesterday. Yesterday's accountability group in school went for 3.5 hours. You talked about recasting loans, septic tanks, HELOCs, crime rates, off-market deals, paint spray guns, and of course, the next ORAT events. Alrighty, buddy. Take care. Have fun. Later.